Okay, everybody, I'm way up in this canyon. I'm heading up into the headwaters of it. I got to go pick something up there. We're doing some work downstream, but anyway, I thought I'd show you a couple of things. It's kind of neat. It's evidence, you know, from previous mining activity. We just need to climb up this waterfall real quick here. Let me find a way here. All right. Now, keep in mind, we'd been up this waterfall, I don't know, half a dozen times, and sorry, I'm trying to climb up this thing. Okay, so we'd been up here half a dozen times and literally walked by some of this evidence and didn't even notice it. Anyway, we'll keep going here. So, right up here on this bench, right there, wouldn't you know it, but there's an old arastra sitting there. We walked by this half a dozen times, probably never even noticed it. But it's a wall, and it's completely round, and it goes all the way back into there, and it just makes that circle. Now, the arastra was no doubt right here. We don't know how it was run. We don't know what mechanism they had in the center or the outside or whatever. It looks as if they deliberately buried it. Why you would do that, I have no idea. But it's definitely an arastra, and it's definitely, it looks like it's been buried. It could have been natural erosion and just kind of filled it in. But keep in mind, we're way up on a bench here. We're out of the gully. And I mean, it is pretty interesting. Why someone would bury it is beyond me. Maybe they made it into a fire pit later on. Maybe the original miner never even buried it. Maybe someone else came along and buried it. I don't know. It's just really bizarre. Okay, but it's there, and it's just covered up. Some cactus growing out of it. It almost looks like it was deliberately planted there too. Just kind of weird. That's really old stuff. This is got to be late 1800s stuff. It should be anyway. So we'll continue upstream, because here's where some excitement starts. See that stack of rocks? Clearly been plastered out. So that's a nice little wall. That wall probably continued here. It does right here. And then it continues up in there. So this was all, they dug all this out and they ran it all. So we'll keep going here. I'll try to make this quick. I wanted to show you some cooler stuff up here. This was probably all hand stacked at one point, but after 100 years of flooding, or however long it was, all the evidence, a lot of the evidence is washed away. So we'll keep going here. All right. There's something really cool coming up. There's some old, that looks like an old throw pile. Somebody just tossed the rocks up there. It was that was kind of on a outside bend. Okay, so we're getting up here. Keep in mind, we're way up in the headwaters. Okay, you see that? See that right there? That's the remnants of an old cabin. Let's go have a look. I wonder if that bucket's still here. It probably is. There's some glass, a bunch of trash. We are way up here. I mean, we're a good, I'd say we're a mile up in here. So you can see the old foundation, the straight wall there, and then it comes around. There's a doorway right near, well, it's under that shrubbery. And then you can see the wall here. Yeah, now that's cool, huh? That's a nice wall. I mean, hell, I couldn't build something like that today. But it's all dug out. They probably had a tin roof. Probably took it with them. I doubt it was ocotillos or anything like that. But, oh yeah, check it out. Look at this old bucket. Look at this thing. Look at this. Isn't that the coolest thing ever? Now, I don't know why somebody would come up here and go shoot holes through something, but we're so remote. Maybe they did it out of spite. I don't know. So they could have carried water or something, but I would imagine they probably carried material or maybe ore, something like that. But pretty neat, huh? That's a pretty big room. I mean, that must be a good 10 foot wide, 10 foot deep, maybe 12 foot, maybe even more actually. It's all sloughed in over there. Pretty neat, huh? And then there's the other side there. Cool, let's go back down here. Got something else to show you. Here we go. All right. Okay. We came up here and dry washed after these guys had already dry washed this area. Here's some evidence here. That's clearly a stack of rocks. There was probably a wall there at one time. Here's a nice wall. Check this out. This is from us. This is just our grizzly tailings from the 151, and then our fines pile there. But you can see, well, here's all the area we worked, all that bedrock there, all the way up and around the corner. Look at this wall. That was done by the old timers. That's pretty cool. That's a nice wall. So when we came here, they had already dry washed all this. So what we did is we went ahead and just redid it, and by golly did we find some gold. So it was all replenished gold after, you know, I don't know if it's been 90 years, 100 years, and I mean, this is old stuff. Guys don't do this stuff no more. You can see the lichen growing on the side of the rocks, and old. And so anyway, we did really good in here. I mean, it was kind of surprising. The overburden carried and the bedrock had nuggets on it. We had got a couple nice pieces right in there. But anyway, that's an old wall. Old evidence. Stuff you'd want to look for. I did that. And then we'll keep going here. I came up here to grab a bucket, but the buckets are back there. Look at this wall here. It just keeps going. So it ended there. It didn't really end. It probably just fell down. And then it just kept going in here, all the way up here. This is all stuff we dry washed, by the way. We vacuumed all this and cleaned it all up. There's an old wall there. There's a little javelina skull. Pretty cool. And let's keep going a little bit. I think there's another really nice wall up here. Yeah, here's some wall. You can see they clearly stacked it. Look at this. Look at this. Look at this wall here. I mean, this gully's only, you know, a few feet wide, and but they stacked this wall, and oh boy, howdy, did they stack it. They went all the way up with it, and then it just stops, and the gold seems to peter out. So I would imagine that the source is, well, we know where the source is. We just got to figure out where exactly the gold is coming down the hill. It's just kind of eroding off the banks, or we've pretty much ruled out it being in a gully. It might be, but yeah, it's hard to say. But anyway, pretty neat, huh? So that's the evidence that we found up here. Previous mining activity, pretty cool. Anyway, guys, be safe out there, and you know, a little exploration, some hiking, and you can find good spots like this. So anyway, all right, well, got to get going. I got to grab the stuff I came up here for and take it back downstream. It's quite a ways. So anyway, take care out there, and we'll talk to you later.